Today, on the early morning show, Valentine season used to be the most profitable for retailers all year long. But now, it's in a slump. Guess what caused it? Let's cue the rooster and get this show started.
Every time I need that shit, devil make another.
Hey man, if you got something that you believe in and you believe that you can do it and nobody else do, just go for it. It's your life.
My life is moving fast, I gotta slow it down. Yeah, now I got it, they all come around. But when I ain't have it, they nowhere to be found. Yeah, I had to stick with the ones who stay down. And now a lot of people say I changed on them, because I'm whipping in the range on them. I don't think I'm acting different, I just found out that these folks ain't in my interest. And you ain't got a lot of kicking.
Good morning and welcome to the early morning show. We got a lot of good things coming up for you this week, and I'll talk about that at the end of the program. But today, on the early morning show, love sales slump of Valentine's Day 2021. It tanked. Sales for flowers, chocolates, diamonds were down this year dramatically from year-over-year numbers. Now, can we say or blame that it is because of the global pandemic? No, sir. Sales of products and merchandise surrounding the most romantic day of the year have been taking a hit over the last decade, and surveys say it's mainly due to millennial men losing their appetite to pay for romance with women. It will come down to the millennials, right? Now, is Valentine's Day beginning to reflect our new cultural norm of hooking up but not staying up? That's what I want to know. Or could it be because men no longer see the vast majority of women they encounter as someone to share their love or their income with, let alone life? Now, I would like to believe it was the first answer, but I know it is the second. You see, you might be asking as to why you see so many heart-shaped balloons, chocolate, and the like in every store you go to. It's all over the place. You can't get away from it. Walmart, Kmart, which is gone, 7-Eleven, no matter. Now, these massive displays are not proof of love, but rather proof of mass distribution companies pressuring you to continue a dying tradition. Now, just as sure as you can find the true facts of decreased sales, you can find untruthful articles about the coming of a new booming Valentine's Day each and every year. That's all they keep saying. It's going to be bigger this year. It's going to be bigger next year. But before I get to the facts on sales as well as males' decreasing buying habits, let me give you some actual sellers of Amazon.com. So people actually sell this stuff online. And let me give you their take on that love day. Now the following is just a few posts from those sellers. Here's post number 1. He's asking, so how's everybody's Valentine's Day sales? We are down about 70% from the usual. It's funny because his wife now dislikes Valentine's Day. And here's the answer to some people. Answer. Pretty much the same as every year for me. Dead as expected. $95 sales for the day, but the night is still young, one says. Answer 2. He says, we're actually doing about the same as last year, but V-Day isn't a big sales day for us anymore. Had some better sales over the weekend. Now, he said has better sales yesterday. People are busy today. His answer number 3. Person says, our sales is about 25% usual at this hour. Real slump. Answer number 4. My sales have been down from 3 to 4 days ago till today. I have no idea why. Wish it would be up soonest. Now answer 5. Same here. Sales are down abnormally today. Valentine's Day is terrible. Answer 6 for a person. Sales have been down for us for the past few days. Probably the worst ever for the first time in 2 or so many years. And this week's sales are significantly lower in terms of sales volume, as in items, units returned, and dollars. He says, heck, this week was even worse than our anticipated slow period, which was typically summer season, July through August. Now that we have heard from the sellers on the street, let's hear from the big guy that dominate the industry, the Valentine's industry. You see, Valentine's Day is rapidly approaching at that time, and retailers everywhere are feeling the pressure for the year 2021, Valentine's Day. Now, Valentine's Day shoppers spent an impressive $20.7 billion on candy, bling, teddy bears, flowers, and other romantic gifts, according to the National Retail Federation. Now, from new marketing campaigns, new promotions, and big attractive discount retailers, e-tailers alike, are trying to boost sales and stay a step ahead of Cupid. with consumers expected to spend even more next year, they always say. Now, it seems like all retailers want a piece of the action. Or do they? The numbers look appealing on paper, but the findings of a recent study suggest that not all retailers are in love with the so-called Hallmark holiday. That's what it's called. The Pearl Source, which is one of the largest jewelry retailers in the U.S. by revenue, recently polled 1,000 men and women in a census-weighted survey regarding their expectations and shopping habits for Valentine's Day. Now, nearly a third of respondents say they could do without the holiday. They could do without it. They don't need it. They don't want it. In fact, 30% of those respondents said the holiday is unnecessary and forces them to spend money when they otherwise wouldn't. So they don't want to spend their money. It's the first thing for millennials. Now, a bit more than 15% of the consumers said they would strike the holiday from the calendars altogether if they could. The lack of enthusiasm for Cupid largely came down to finances. Their money. You didn't need COVID for that. Now, more than 35% of respondents said the holiday puts financial strain on them. More than a quarter of the survey participants said they have to take on a credit card debt, borrow money from a friend, or pick up an extra shift at overtime in order to help them celebrate that day. But they don't gain from it. An additional 14% said they were already in debt from the holiday season shopping, which was adding to the strain. So they came off a debt from Christmas. And now you want them to take on a new debt for a holiday that they don't benefit from. Now, will consumers' disdain for Valentine's Day translate to fewer dollars spent? Yes. If they say time will tell, either way, retailers are in a bind. As it turns out, many retailers don't seem to be too thrilled about that holiday either. The study also asked 500 independent retailers and e-tailers to weigh in on Valentine's Day. Marketers and e-commerce managers made up the bulk of the respondents. A whopping 68% agreed that they would prefer to ditch that targeted holiday initiative altogether, while 70% now stated they felt pressure to spend more to promote deep discounts, existing promotions, and special product lines in time for that holiday. So they don't want to invest that money into promoting a product that in the long run they have to reduce it down to cost and sell it a few days after Valentine's Day for pennies. But once again, it all came down to dollars. Retailers and e-tailers say they had to increase their spending considerably to attract consumers around this time of year, and that's eating into an already slim margin on items like chocolate, flowers, clothing, jewelry, and more. Now, according to MetaPost companies, they spent 23% more online search advertising, even though consumers only spent 5% more on online purchases. So they're outspending what you're buying. Here's how much additional spend study participants said they had to add to their marketing and e-commerce budgets for Valentine's Day. That means the majority of respondents tacked on at least an extra $2,500 to their marketing spend, not exactly a small chunk of change for a small retailer or an e-tailer, especially if consumers aren't spending that much more to begin with. In fact, 90% of the retailers questioned for the poll said Valentine's Day wasn't a lucrative holiday for their brand, mostly blaming a combination of consumer spending pattern, or lack thereof, deep discounts on that particular day, and promotions to attract attention and increase competition that drives up costs for keyboard bidding, pay-per-click ads, etc. So this day is not a booming for the retailers or the guys that have to take money out to buy these products. Now, if retailer selling traditional Valentine's Day gifts, flowers, candy, clothing are taking a hit, retailers and e-tailers dealing in high-end merchandise are getting in and getting hit even harder. At the Pearl Source, Valentine's Day is largely a miserable experience because by and large, consumers make their jewelry purchases over the holidays. Rings, earrings, necklaces, and more are snatched up around Christmas, not Valentine's Day, and consumers never really look back after that day. All the advertising money can buy is still rarely and compelling enough reason to revisit the jeweler for Valentine's Day. Now, and relationships are sucking because of this. Now, this has proven true for other luxury retailers as well. Handbags, fashion accessories, ticket sales, and more all tend to slump after the holiday rush, which is Christmas. Many marketers have posted their thoughts on the subjects ranging from ways to combat slowdowns to boosting holiday sales to offset what you presumably can't avoid. Retailers are likely going to continue to get behind Cupid, They're going to keep doing this game as long as consumers keep spending. But it seems that this year, like years past, both consumers and retailers may be falling out of love with the holiday a bit. If Valentine's Day ends up slumping considerably, retailers and e-tailers can and should consider dialing back spending for the following year. At some point, the numbers just don't make sense anymore. And this year, we can see consumers tip the scales against Cupid when all the numbers are added up. Now, help for this article comes to us from Leon Rabibo. He is the president of Pearl Source, one of the largest online pearl jewelry retailers and distributors in the United States, and a leading foundation member of the Cultural Pearl Association of America. Now, in other sectors of the Valentine's Day industry, florists report a slump in demand for fresh flowers. Florists expect to earn extra bucks on occasions such as Valentine's Day. They pin their hopes on profiting that day. It's their Black Friday, but during a weekday or the weekend. Now, when the demand is higher, but some reveal that it isn't the same story this year as last. One cannot think of Valentine's Day without gifting a bouquet of fresh, hand-picked, fragrant flowers combined with perhaps with a giant stuffed teddy bear. Every guy was rushed to the same game. When you're young or when you're old. Now, a fresh stuffed flowers and teddy bear, right? To convey romantic sentiments. As florists confess that the sales of fresh flowers has gone down over the years. They hope that the V-Week will revive their fortunes in the seasons of love. That will bring this sales back. But they don't see it happening. They see a dramatic drop in the sales of flowers. Now, you might ask, what killed this holiday? And I've been talking for years, and I state to the fact that it's like turning the two genders against each other. When it started in the 60s up to now, both males and females were turned against each other. It became a war against genders. And nobody decided, the males were not deciding to give their money on that day, their love and effort to somebody they see as an enemy. So tell us what you think about this. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your buddy. What happened to you this Valentine's Day? Did you decide to spend money? Now, this week coming up, like I say, on Tuesday we have Assault on Manhood. On Wednesday we have Predator 101. That's the one where the teachers go after their young students. On Thursday we have The Man's Bartender. And that's a Mojito Blanco, which is a white mojito. It's a good drink. Gotta see it. Gotta have it. The Man's Kitchen. On Friday we have Sirloin Steak. Oh man, that's good. You gotta see it. On Saturday is Vice Sting. And on Sunday, Killer Wives. So each day of the week, all month long, we have things on this channel. We have new shows coming about. So don't go nowhere. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Talking out your ass, we revoke your membership. Falling off the cliff, hope you niggas get a grip. It's enough to go around if you tune into the sound. Tap into the universal laws to get it all. You already have it in you, but you hold it and you stall. We ain't gotta die to see heaven, we can live it. If you want something, gotta be willing to give it. Not for the return, purely for the feeling. Take some time to get a line of structures that we building. Expansion we increase cause we have to. Thank God every day and your mama cause she had you. She really didn't have to, you here now. Make the best of what you see and what you hear now. Got into the driver's seat, you gotta steer now. Safe trip, picking love over fear now. I care less about what you think of me and more about what I think of me. Abundance coming easily, I'm tapped into that frequency. What you think of me ain't none of my business. What you think of me ain't none